question, obvious question is, tell us a little bit why we're here today and why you decided, because I'm sure you get approached a lot to put your name on things, why this was something that you had to do.
Domestic violence is a very near and dear, very real, true cause for me. I've been very vocal and open. I think my whole career pretty much about my own experiences in witnessing domestic violence in my own home and in surrounding homes in my neighborhood where I grew up, all over the country and everywhere. My dad was in the Army, but yeah, I've experienced a lot on many different levels, and so that's why it's so important for me to be partnering with Verizon in helping spread awareness with their relationship with HopeLine, and allowing everyone the opportunity to go ahead and help support the cause as well. It affects everybody more than you know, and probably a lot more people in your life than you really know.
So obviously, a lot of people look up to you as a role model. Is there ever that pressure to be that strong, powerful ex-Tina? Or, can you just do you without having to live up to what the public wants you to be?
I think over the years, I've found a pretty good balance of it. The more, it takes time. I think I've been in this business my whole life. I've literally been singing on a stage and making somewhat of a living since I was 7. Okay, so I should probably be retired right now.
Aren't you tired?
It gets tiring, but that's where you take on new things like experiencing yoga, and it's things like this that do make you feel good also about using your voice for good and what makes you want to keep going.
So you mentioned you've been in this business since you were 7. Knowing what you know now, because you know a shitload now, having gone through this business a few years, what advice would you give that girl in the Mickey Mouse Club, knowing what you know now? What would you tell her?
Gosh, it's so hard saying it's almost like a what ifs, could if situation, but you gotta just go through it. This is what I kind of go through in mentoring my team on The Voice sometimes, is, the young talent that comes on, they just want to be the best of the best right now. They want to cut to the hit songs and, the writing, and sometimes it just takes time to learn who you are, to experience the good with the bad, and especially the bad sometimes, to make the good that makes the hits, that makes the inspirational songs to people. Your tough times leads to the gold in your life and the gold sometimes in others. And to me, it goes beyond sort of money or career or success. It's like, I've accomplished a lot already in my life. It's the things that I enjoy, and my passion for music, my children, and in causes like this that keep me going, really.
Not all these shows, there's always pressure, like, are they going to make the next you? Are they going to make the next Britney? But, you don't always get the next you. So how, is there a formula or way to get these winners of these shows #1 hits? How does that happen?
I do have to say, I think there's been a question in a lot of people's minds, and especially, the boys have to wonder that. Blake and Adam have won a few seasons, and so this probably is a question that correlates more so with them. But I know that the label has, some responsibility to take there and what happens to them, because we literally are on the show as their coaches to mentor, and, we don't honestly always get, to be in their ears, their managers or anything like that, or their label reps. So that really has to do with the show and how they handle that. But also it's a certain time, it's a certain place, and sometimes, going through the show, people expect, okay, you went through the show, you're the winner, now we're gonna be a big star. It's like sometimes, it takes people to like come back from a minute and then rise to fame later. I think, a case in point, Alanis Morissette didn't have her prime success. She was, I think, a pop star in Canada or something like that, had like a pop album. Don't quote me exactly, but I know there was a story, and this happens a lot, where it's like, sometimes things will happen when they need to happen. And right now, I think what's great about The Voice is that people really appreciate the rooting for the underdog, hearing the backstory, hearing people with goals and dreams, and watching them, sort of get better every week, and what our jobs are in all of that. So, it's a fun show to be a part of, and a positive thing. I notice. I enjoy seeing people appreciate and enjoy that process and watching it.
What's next for you music-wise?
I've been working on music, accumulating different songs and writing and trying to figure out what exactly the best culmination of songs is to put out there yet. It's still a work in progress because I want to make sure I'm very respectful to the creative process, and I'm not robotic. I can't just put things together or receive songs to sing and just put an album out. That's not my style, and I really have to respect the process. And there are a few amazing producers and people I haven't worked with yet that will be showing up on the next album, and I'm more so doing even different musical projects because some of it is so versatile, but very exciting stuff. Can't give away, I know, too much, and I can't say names yet, but really exciting stuff, all greatness.
Final question is, obviously all these mentors, or all these kids come up to you, and is there like a mother hen with you? Do you want to protect them from the evils of this business? And what is kind of the main thing that you say to these kids that are going through this?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part, I think, for me is literally these kids, they just have dreams. They're so not used to being thrust into the mainstream of opinions and criticism and critique and just like mean stuff that people just say for no reason, and what are those people doing behind a computer screen? It makes me sad for people to go through that. I definitely, have been there, done that, I've seen a lot of stuff go down over the years and things transpire. So it's my job to try and encourage them to you have to take it with a grain of salt. It is the business, and it's like almost like in super speed being thrust all of a sudden. If you make it level by level into the voice rounds, it gets tougher and tougher, and the business can make you or break you. And part of that, I do feel mother henish and some responsibility in helping give them that strength and that courage and that fighter spirit to get through all of that.
Song lyric, fighter. Yeah. I digress. Thank you so much. Thank you guys.